Dear students, moving further and discussing the integrated pest management, today I would start with the role of biological control in integrated pest management. Being safe, permanent, and economical, biocontrol should be of primary concentration in any IPM program and should not be taken up by only when other methods fail. So actually when we talk about the insect pest management, it should be considered, it should be taken because of various reasons. That is, it's safe, it's permanent, it is economical. It is not that, when we need a method and other methods are not applicable or they fail to give us the benefit we actually require, only then should we apply the integrated pest management. Rather, it should be taken into consideration right from the very beginning. In IPM, biological control need not achieve complete success, since other methods combined also contribute in achieving the goal. Now, when we talk about the role of biological control, it is not necessary that the biological control using this biological control in integrated pest management, we would achieve 100% success. But whatever the contribution may be of biological control, that is enough, as there are different other methods which are combined along with biological control in the integrated pest management planning or in this strategy. There are three major ways to integrate biological control in IPM programs, and these are: number one, conservation and augmentation of natural enemies already available; importation and colonization of exotic natural enemies; and mass culture and release of indigenous as well as exotic natural enemies. So, as we employ it in the biological control, the same biological control method is employed when we integrate various other methods too. Conservation is done by using selective insecticides to which natural enemies are resistant, or use of soil application methods or habitat management like planting of nectar producing flowering plants in the vicinity of the crop. So we try to conserve the natural and control agents, the biological control agents, specifically by using selective insecticides, so that when we use a chemical to kill a specific insect, if we are incorporating use of insecticides or chemicals along with the biological control, so we have to be very selective and choosy while selecting this particular chemical insecticides, because not only would they harm the insects which we are trying to manage, but they may also affect the natural biological agents. So we have to be a bit particular in selecting which insecticides are we using when we are using along with it the biological control agent. Cultural practices which maintain diversity of crops in the area are usually beneficial for the natural enemies. So cultural control practices which maintain diversity of crops, they are always very effective and beneficial. Intercropping of selected crops is known to augment parasitic activity. Integration of moderately resistant crop varieties with natural enemies is currently a popular component of pest management. So the resistant crop varieties today are very common, they are in use in the integrated pest management. So when we talk about the integration, when we use this strategy, we use biological control, we use chemical, maybe in the form of the insecticides, then we use cultural agricultural practices, we use the crop rotation method, we use the intercropping method, and we also use the use of resistant crop varieties. So these are all practices which are combined together for a specific integrated pest management strategy. Role of insecticides in IPM. Now, when pest populations reach about tolerable levels, insecticides provide immediate control. But great majority of insecticides are broadly toxic and therefore ecologically disruptive. great need for IPM is to develop selective or even specific insecticides which will have negligible effect on non-target species. Modification of dosage, time of application, formulations and placement of material can be utilized to increase selectivity of chemicals. Successful use of pesticides of mites illustrates bright future for selectivity. Use of pheromones, hormones, repellents, antifeedants and sterilants are selective in their action and hence must be encouraged. Now all these chemicals like the pheromones, the hormones, the repellents, the antifeedants and the sterilants, these are all chemicals which are employed for the pest management programs, but these chemicals actually do not necessarily kill the insects as the insecticides. Although these are chemicals, but they work in a different way, and we would be discussing these in details. But then these can be applied and these are really effective, and therefore these should be encouraged in the IPM strategy. An elementary integration is the application of insecticides and pheromone traps to reduce male population of the pest before undertaking control through sterile male technique, since the latter is more successful at lower pest densities. An example is the control of Mediterranean fruit fly on Procida Island in Italy. So this is a classical method, classical example where IPM has been successfully used, and it was against Mediterranean fruit fly. Role of varietal resistance in integrated pest management. Now, use of resistant varieties is a less utilized concept. A low plant resistance is better since it does not impose too much stress on the pest species to change its behavior and develop biotypes. It also harbors natural enemies at low pest densities. A highly resistant crop, on the other hand, wipes out not only the pest species but also the specific natural enemy fauna from the area. An interesting integration of resistance, cultural practice and chemical control is the planting of trap crop of a susceptible variety or attractive crop on the borders and main crop in the middle, and then spraying only on the susceptible variety where the pest would naturally congregate. Congregate is to get together, it will colonize or grouping. An integration of resistance and biocontrol was shown in California by planting moderately resistant variety of barley and sorghum, which complemented the activity of the parasite Lysibulabus in reducing green bug Sizaphus gramineum population. Advantages of varietal resistance in IPM programs include its specificity, easy compatibility with other methods, cumulative effect is carried through generations over a long period, and non-disturbance of ecosystem. Now, principles and strategies of integrated pest management. Number 1, monitoring insect pests and natural enemies. Now, pest surveillance and forecasting are essential tools in IPM which help in making management decisions. So, if the pest surveillance is carried down, if we just survey and know, detail out what kind of a pest is it, where, when does it occur, what is its behavior, what are exactly the stages which damage the crop, so on. So the pest surveillance, and when its population rises, when its population decreases, so all this is under the head of pest surveillance and forecasting, that yes, now it is the time when the population is going to increase to a level when it will cause economic injury. So one has to monitor the insect pest and of course its natural enemies. Harmful organisms must be monitored by adequate methods and tools wherever available. Monitoring can be done through observations, use of scientifically sound warning, forecasting and early diagnosis systems. Advice from professionally qualified advisors, etc. must be taken. Many countries like France, Denmark have adopted this monitoring and forecasting technique. So once we are able to monitor the insect pest and forecast that yes, now this is going to attain a pest status in the coming months or the coming time, then it is very effectively a strategy of controlling could be employed using integrated pest management uh, technique. Concepts of injury levels. The economic threshold level and economic injury level concepts are followed to reduce the use of insecticides and their impact on environment. Integration of pest control tactics, proper choice of compatible tactics and blending them so that each component complements the other. The strategy of applying pest management tactics is similar to that of human medicine. There are two things, one is preventive practice and the other is curative practice. So one is that you prevent the insect to attack, or other is once it has attacked and then take the curative practice. So as we apply for our safety against various diseases, one is the preventive and the other is the curative. Thank you.